Thanks Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Let's be honest, steak is amazing, and I have done some insane experiments with it. Dry aging steak in peanut butter. I've also dry aged in Nutella, and one of the most recent ones I've dry aged in honey. That was totally insane. And I've learned quite a bit with these experiments. But one thing my subscribers keeps asking me all the time is, how about dry aging in marshmallow? Is it gonna be good? Is it gonna do something unique to the meat? Well, all of these questions we're gonna find out right now, because this is the marshmallow dry aging experiment. So let's do it. Marshmallow. It is one of those sweet treats that everyone looks forward to, whether you like it roasted or as a s'more. We all know what it tastes like. But as you can clearly see, this right here, there's no way that I can spread it on some meat. If I try that, it will basically fall off. But luckily we have something that will. And I'm talking about this, Fluffernutter. It is the star of the show. It is also marshmallow, but let's just say that it's spreadable marshmallow. It tastes exactly the same, but usually it's eaten as a spread. Most of the time with bread like this is incredible. But hey, that's not what we're here for. We're here to see if this is going to be a good combination with dry aging. And talking about that, this is the true star of the show. We got a 4-bone rib roast, also known as prime rib. Now the great thing about it is that we're going to be putting this 100% to the test, as I'm going to be splitting it in half. And one of them we're going to be dry aging with Fluffernutter, but the other one will be dry aged 100% the real deal. And to do that, it's pretty straightforward. All we got to do is put it in a special bag called Umai Dry. You just have to try to remove as much air as possible, set it on a cooling rack, and let it rest in your refrigerator for 35 days. Now that we got that ready, it's time to jump into the Fluffernutter. As things are about to get real messy, I highly recommend using a parchment paper on the bottom, because the next thing is to cover the whole thing with the marshmallow spread. And I must say, this is extremely challenging. The biggest problem is that this thing is sticky, and it doesn't matter how much you try, everything will stick to it. I've done some crazy dry aging experiments before with different ingredients, but this one is the hardest one to work with. Not only is it extremely messy, but it does not matter what it is that you touch it with, it's gonna stick. So I try to go nice and slow to ensure that every single edge of the steak was fully covered with a Fluffernutter. And even though this took some time, once I was done, this is what it looks like. Now that is the world's first marshmallow dry aging experiment. Talking about that, the only thing left to do is to put it on a baking tray and let it rest on my refrigerator for 35 days. Once the time was up, I took it out and take a look at this. What in the world happened? The marshmallow completely came off the sides, but at the same time you can clearly see that has a very unique color. And I'll tell you right now, it smells good. I wish I could say that by the way it looks as well, because it does not look as good as it smells. Now there's no way we're going to be eating the crust on the top. All of that has to go. And I first started by lifting it up from the parchment paper. And take a look at the bottom. Wow, that is not dry whatsoever. And if you take a look at the pan, there is a lot of moisture there. But the interesting thing is that there is no blood. It is 100% clear liquid. That was totally unexpected. Since it's going to be impossible to remove all of this sticky goodness, I went ahead and started by carving everything out. And the first thing to be removed was the bones. And as I took them out, wow, take a look at this. The red color is a real good sign. It got me super excited and I started to work on the edge. And as I take my first slice, oh no, the oxidation went real deep. That is not a good thing. But hey, I'm not gonna stop here. So I went ahead and started carving the other side. I removed everything that was oxidized. One of the most important things whenever you're dry aging is not to be cheap with the waste. So I made sure to remove as much as possible. Once that was done, it was time to cut them up into steaks. And I'll tell you one thing, this thing is super tender. As you can see, the fibers are literally separating. Now I'm really curious to find out how it's gonna taste, because I was left with two beautiful steaks. As you can see, they are 1.5 inches thick. Don't forget that we also have the real dry aged one. After removing the bag, you can clearly see that it did its job. That is one of the things with these dry aging bag. They are reliable, and most importantly, they do not cost a lot of money. It really allows you to dry age at home without being worried of anything. But just like every dry aged steak, we must remove all of the pellicles. That's this outer crust that is formed throughout the steak as you dry aging. And as you can see, I was left with a beautiful steak. Now that is dry age perfection. We even have a little bit of the cap left. Now we should have a real test against the marshmallow ones. Talking about that, check out what they look side by side. Just by the looks, you tell me which one would you rather eat. Yeah, I know the real deal looks a lot better, but I'm super curious to find out how the tenderness is with the marshmallow. But now that we got these steaks ready to go, the only thing left to do is to get them seasoned. For that, I kept it real simple. A little bit of salt followed by freshly ground black pepper and garlic powder is good enough. You gotta remember, we went through all that trouble of dry aging the steak. Keeping it simple is the way to go, as now the only thing left to do is to grill them. And my goal is to first get a nice beautiful sear in all of these steaks. And once that's done, I'll be cooking them in indirect heat until I reach an internal temperature of 135 degrees Fahrenheit. And for that, I'll be using my wireless thermometers. So now I say, it is enough talking and it is time to grill them. So let's do it.
Before moving forward, I want to thank today's sponsor, Manscaped. Have you ever trimmed down there and it turned out into an absolute horror film? Well, luckily you don't have to worry about that anymore thanks to Manscaped. With Manscaped, you can make sure you are trimmed and smelling fresh with their refined body wash. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know that I'm a huge fan of Manscaped and the Performance Package Kit. I'm excited to share that Manscaped just released a new in-shower solution specifically designed for men, so that you no longer need to smell like Freddy Krueger. The new body wash by Manscaped is a premium daily shower gel scented with Manscaped refined cologne and features a luxury lather for any skin type. Keep your skin clean, fresh, moisturized, revigorated without over drying. After you cleanse with your refined body wash, grab your Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 waterproof body trimmer and shave when your skin is soft and properly prepped for trimming. Go to manscaped.com and use promo code GUGA for 20% off your order plus free shipping. That's 20% off plus free shipping with promo code GUGA at manscaped.com. Say trick or treat to your beautiful new Halloweeny with Manscaped. Thanks Manscaped for sponsoring this video, but now let's get right back to it. All right, everybody, here we have our beautiful steaks, Mama. Are you hungry, Mama?
I am starving. They smell so good.
Smells too good, right?
Oh my God.
Obviously, we got a beautiful experiment with two wonderful steaks. I want to know your opinion, which one is better. That's all I want to know.
All right.
Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right, enough talking. Let's go for it. As always, just the way I like it, everybody. Perfect medium rare. Why are you smelling, Mama?
Because there's something different about this.
What's different about it? Oh my God. It is so tender, everybody. Look at this. The steak is literally, look at that, Mama, falling apart. That is what I like to see, everybody. That's what I'm talking about. You already know it's going to be something special before you even take a bite. You ready, Mama?
Let's do this.
All right,
I'm
enough.
excited.
Cheers, everybody. It never disappoints, man.
Dry age.
Ah!
Oh, man.
Dry age perfection right there.
Man, that's good.
That's amazing,
That's
man.
good.
That is as good as it gets, everybody. I'm telling you right now. It's not a Wagyu, but man, it sure beats a few Wagyus that I had.
Are you the only?
There's a very small hint of dry age, not too overpowering, just enough to give that nice little hint. How do you describe a dry aged steak for somebody that never had it, Mama?
It has an extra beefiness into it, and a little bit of a funk.
A funk?
A little funk.
Okay, you ready for the second one?
Let's do it.
Oh, you're excited. I'm
excited.
I'm happy that you're excited,
It's
Mama.
dry age. What do you expect? Wait, hold on.
What happened?
What did your dry age this on now? Okay, I'm not so excited anymore.
I shouldn't have said anything. Oh, Mama already knows what's going on.
I'm dreading this now.
When you've been in a few videos, you already know what to expect.
Yeah,
Mama.
like I should have known better than get excited about dry age.
Oh man, you're making me cry right here, Mama.
Should I even smell it? I'm scared of smelling
Smell it, man. Tell me if it smells good or bad or ugly. Smells what? What does it smell like?
It smells kind of like the other one.
Really?
But there's something a little extra on top of it.
Really? Smells a little bit? I'll tell you one thing. It smells amazing. That's what I can tell you. It smells phenomenal. I am super excited. Now, as you can tell, I did dry age it in something.
Of course.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't need you to know.
I will give you a hint. The stuff that was dry aged on was white. That's all I could tell you. Stop thinking about it, Mama.
Right.
Enough talking. Second one.
It's not milk, right?
I don't know. Might be. Enough talking. Second one. Cheers, everybody. Ooh, it's tougher. That's what I noticed immediately.
Yeah.
It's like a chewing gum, Mama. What happened here?
The flavor didn't change.
No, but the tenderness did. What do you
Yeah.
think about that tenderness?
No, it is chewier, more gummy, and a little bit more dry too.
Way drier, man. I'm still chewing.
It tastes a little similar to this one, but nowhere near as juicy or as beefy. It's weird.
Look at my face. Does that tell you all you need to know?
It's not bad.
No, it's not great.
It's not great. No.
No.
No. This is amazing. That is.
Well, it
man.
took a while to chew that, man. It's drier. It has a weird flavor. It is by no means any better. It is a much more inferior steak. If you would ask me if this come from the same exact roast, I say no. That's
No,
how different
yeah.
it is.
No, yeah.
It is absolutely horrendous. Terrible idea. Do not do it. I don't recommend it. Mama, it was done in marshmallow.
Oh my god. It's edible, but
Oh,
it's
no,
not-
don't get me wrong. We're not going to throw anything away because, you see, here's the deal, everybody. I know a lot of you might think, why do you do these crazy experiments, Guga? Because I've always learned something, regardless if it's a success or if it's a fail. Obviously, this one is a terrible fail. I have noticed that sugar, anything that has to do with sugar does not go well on steaks because the sugar does something to the protein. I am not scientist enough or smart enough to know what exactly it does, but it does something. However, fermented stuff is phenomenal on steaks, right? So I've learned all of these different things that I'm trying to put together something incredible with all of the experiments I have learned, and you guys stay real tuned for that because that will be something impressive. Hopefully it will come out soon enough. Not a good idea. Don't recommend it. Do you recommend it, Mama?
No.
We don't recommend it, everybody.
shame.
It's
a shame.
It's a shame. You want it to be good, Mama. Mama really likes marshmallows, everybody. Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you enjoyed this video and you had fun watching it. Be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in any of the equipment I use, everything's always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. You want a description from this right here? It's easy. This is what happened. We got a ribeye that became an eye round. That is the description of the marshmallow steak. That's what it does. So,
It's true though.
to resume, don't do it, all right? It's not good. See you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.